In this lesson, we're going to use some of the WAVs that we created earlier, and we're going to combine them into multi-track view. So far, we've only been working with single track view in Audacity, but we're going to move to multi-track view. This is where we have multiple sound sources that are combined into the one project. So there's a number of different ways you could start a project. I'm just going to open Audacity. I have a blank project. And what I will do is I will drag in, so this is the mp3, rob.mp3 that I created earlier. I'm going to delete that because I don't want it. So I'm just going to send that to the bin. And what I do is I'll just drag this in. As you see here now, I have the Rob audio, and here I have the Indrakshi audio. Welcome to The Machine, a computer science education podcast from the South. So the two sounds are playing there together. That makes no sense. It's very difficult to hear. Just give that a go again. Welcome to The Machine, a computer science education podcast from the Southeast Technological University of Ireland. Okay, so what I want to happen is I want to have this bit play, and then I want this bit to play. So I want to have my voice, and then I want to have Indrakshi's voice. What's interesting about this as well, you might wonder, why is it that this has one line and this has two lines? This one is a mono file, so it's just got single channel. This one is actually a stereo file. It's got two channels. They were recorded separately. So this is stereo, this is mono. You can combine mono and stereo, and ultimately we will export stereo. If you export mono as stereo, it just puts the same thing on the left and the right channel. So I want to have Rob, and then I want to have Indrakshi. It's kind of weird talking about myself in the third person. So how would I move this? Well, it's really easy. If I just hover the mouse cursor just up to the top there, and I can just drag it over. So I can drag this here. And then what I can do is, if I have a listen now. My name is Rob O'Connor, a lecturer from the Department of Computing and Mathematics at SETU.
Hi everybody, I'm Indrakshi Day.
Sorry, it's I'll just zoom out so that it would go on. Mathematics at SETU.
Hi everybody, I'm Indrakshi Day.
Welcome to The Machine. So what you can see there and you can hear is that I now have one bit of audio and another bit of audio. I'm just going to play this from about here, and whilst I'm playing this, I want you to look at the levels, and I want you to see if you notice anything about them. My name is Rob O'Connor, a lecturer from the Department of Computing and Mathematics at SETU.
Hi everybody, I'm Indrakshi Day.
So there we have it. Interesting. But we've got those two bits. Department of Computing and Mathematics at SETU.
Hi everybody.
Now, I'm going to save this as a project, so I'm going to press, I'm just going to press Control S. I'm going to save this, save to my computer, and I'm going to call this Test Podcast. And saving to the desktop. I'm going to close this. If I open Test Podcast again, see, I still have all of my audio inside it. So I have my bit of me, I have a bit of Indrakshi, and it's all there. If I export this now, export audio, and I'm going to export it as a WAV, and I'm just going to send it out to desktop. I'm going to say Test Podcast V1. And if I export that, what that is going to do is this is going to combine those two audio sources into the one file. Which is what it's done here. So if I click on this, media player. Welcome to The Machine, a computer science education podcast from the Southeast Technological University of Ireland. My name is Rob O'Connor, a lecturer from the Department of Computing and Mathematics at SETU.
Hi everybody, I'm Indrakshi Day. So
you can hear those two pieces have been put together into the one file. So that's how we're basically mixing multiple audio together. Yeah. Now, let's make it a little bit more interesting, though. Let's pretend this was a real podcast, even though it's not. It's from a real podcast, but let's pretend it's not. I have some music here. So I have 2 jingles. I'm adding in one here. This is the opening music that is used in the machine. So what I want to happen is I want the music to play. I'm just moving that up to the top there. You can drag your tracks around. You can change them wherever you want. I want the music to play. Then I want my voice to come in. Then I want Indrakshi's voice to come in. So what I can do is I could drag my audio over. I could drag Indrakshi's audio, but I'm actually going to select both of them and drag them together. And now what I should hear is there seems to be a glitch every time I start playing the audio. It's probably because I'm recording it at the same time, but you'll forgive that hopefully. Welcome to The Machine, a computer science education podcast from the Southeast Technological University of Ireland. My name is Rob O'Connor, a lecturer from the Department of Computing and Mathematics at SETU.
Hi everybody, I'm Indrakshi Dey. I head a research division called Programmable Autonomous Systems at the Walton Institute for Information and Communication System Sciences at Southeast Technological University, Waterford.
There you go. That's actually... It sounds, reasonable, even though this was much longer, and obviously this is taken from a much longer piece. And let's say I got another bit of audio. What I often like to do with podcasts is I like to use music at the start and music at the end as well. The reason for that is it just kind of signals to the listener that, things have begun and also things have ended. So I'm just going to drag this over here. And here, what we should have is we just have here the end of Indrakshi.
System Sciences at Southeast Technological University, Waterford.
Okay. So now what we have is we have a project that has 4 individual audio tracks. They're lined up in the order that I want them in. If I export this now, I'm going to export this. So I'm going to export audio. Test podcast. The first one that we exported was V1. I'm going to export test podcast V2. I'm going to set it out as a WAV 44100. If I export this entire project. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. And yes, I will save it before I close. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a new Audacity project and I'm going to drag in this, which is the WAV that I exported there. So this is test podcast V2. If I click that in, now what I have is one WAV file that has all of the audio. It has the music, it is my voice, it is Indrakshi's voice, and then it has the music. Skip on. Welcome to The Machine, a computer science education.
Indrakshi Dey. I head a research
voice.
Division called Programmable.
And there's the music again. So that's now being combined. And, we've taken individual sound sources and put them together into something that sounds, much more professional. Obviously, this is 55 seconds. It's not particularly interesting. But you can imagine how this would be if you had like a 30-minute podcast, put a bit of music at the start. You might edit out some fluffy voices or something like that if there was just a bit of messing at the start or at the end. And then you put a bit of music at the end. Hey, presto, you now have yourself a pretty slick podcast.